Yummy.
Hello, you're listening to The Game Grinder, the #1 most scrumptious show in all of gaming. And this, of course, is the first ever episode of The Game Grinder podcast, which you're listening to right now. Indeed. So let's dig in. My name is Nick Barrio. I'm your host, along with...
Peter Wade.
Peter Wade, should I introduce you next time on my own and then you talk? Or should we do the alternating Nick Barrio, Peter Wade thing?
We'll figure it out.
Okay. Good sentiment. Anyways, the Game Grinder podcast is brought to you by GameCubed on YouTube. That is our YouTube channel. You should check it out. We'll have reviews, awesome videos such as editorials. We have some cool ideas, and we're looking forward to getting some content out on that.
We have some cool ideas, and we have some ideas.
We do have some ideas. So, let's dig in. Of course, when we say the Game Grinder, let's get this straight. We are not talking about grinder.
It's a sandwich.
In a sexual connotation here.
Yes.
It's a sandwich.
Yes.
A big meaty-old sandwich.
A very,
grinder.
very
Yes.
tasty sandwich.
And it's got game controllers in it, as you can see from our image, from our picture.
Excellent image.
Yes.
Well crafted.
So let's get right into it. So, our first ever segment on the Game Grinder podcast.
Today is a day of first.
Ever. It is.
Indeed.
Games on the Brain. In this segment, Peter and I, my name is Nick, if you forgot already. I really want that to be ingrained in your brain.
Yes.
For Games on the Brain.
This is Nicholas.
And this is Peter. So, if you are watching on YouTube, you just saw us motioning at each other. But if you're listening to the audio-only podcast version of this on Spotify or other major podcast services, Peter and I just motioned to each other.
Yes.
Yes.
Indeed. We must get used to motioning.
Yes. So, for Games on the Brain, we talk about what we've been playing over the past week and share our thoughts on each. For this week, Peter and I have basically been playing almost the same set of games.
Yeah.
I think Peter's played some more games than I have individually on his own, but...
definitely
go ahead.
I think the most important game that we should talk about, which we just played earlier today.
Just got it hot off the presses. I went to Best Buy. Came out about 1 week ago. I'd say exactly 1 week ago. I believe it came out on February 14th. And we went to Best Buy, I think the day after it came out, to get it.
Yep.
And didn't have it. I was surprised. It's a kind of a major game. It's going viral online. And, of course, we're talking about Dreams for the PlayStation 4, made by Media Molecule.
Yes.
The same creators of Little Big Planet. And so I've been carefully monitoring Best Buy's inventory of Dreams since then, and I saw today that they had the little marker for limited inventory. So I went in, I looked everywhere, couldn't find it. I went up to the very helpful sales associate. He went in the back, dug around, and he came out and he said, "You're very lucky. This just came in and it's the only one." So Sony, I don't know why you're sending only one copy of Dreams to each store. There's been basically no marketing for this game. Fortunately, the game is so unique and interesting that it's going viral online. I've seen a lot of stuff on it on Reddit and the other interesting place of the interwebs.
Yes.
Dreams, if you don't know, if you haven't seen, it's been in development for crazy amount of years. I want to say 10, but that might be an overshoot of the real number. It was initially revealed alongside the PlayStation 4, and I think that happened in February of 2013. So it's been a good while.
It has.
And Dreams gives players the creators tools right off the bat, and it's a helpful and unique new way to make games on your own with no experience. Dreams gives you the tools to make what you want to make, and we found some interesting things.
Oh, we did. I just want to say that the presentation in Dreams is spot on.
Yeah, it is superb. I wasn't expecting it exactly to be what it was. This whole time I've been seeing Dreams stuff online, I thought it was just going to be you start it up, it slaps you this screen where you just go through what everyone's made, and the players themselves control the experience, but right off the bat it had fresh and just cool transitions, even just the loading screen.
The visuals are incredibly well done. They're very beautiful particle effects.
Very cool. It's got a nice narrator to guide players through the experience, just like Little Big Planet.
I don't know if it's as good as Stephen Fry was in Little Big Planet, but
we'll find out as we play.
Whoever does it, she's killing it.
And of course, we've only played this for about maybe a little longer than 1 hour. So next week you'll probably hear our expanded thoughts on Dreams. But as of right now, we're liking it. We found some quality content on there.
We found some garbage content, but that's the great
garbage
thing.
that I consider quality, folks, because this content we found, it makes my heart smile. That's what it does.
It does, indeed.
We found recreations of the Hotel Mario openings, but just completely out of whack. It's insane what these people have done already. And, I mean, this game's been in alpha for a while, but I wanted to wait for the full release to play it. And, oh, my gosh, so many silly things you could do in Dreams.
Dreams is effectively going to become a highway for both very unique creations and also just memes.
Yeah. Peter, you were saying this earlier, but it seems like it's going to become like the new Gmod in terms of like player creations.
I really hope at least that it does become kind of like a spiritual successor to Gmod, because Gmod stuff isn't as popular now. And I would love to just see like really dumb videos made in Dreams. Maybe
there are some concerns though with Dreams, Peter. Yeah. Not creatively, but Sony has effectively, this game has been in development for quite a while, which I've stated, which means they've put a lot of money into making this game. It has no marketing that I can tell. It seems like they're just trying to rely on the voice of the players with this game. And each store, it's sold out everywhere, but each store seems to, at least around our area, has only gotten about 1 or 2 copies each. And it's been sold out, which is a good sign. But I think maybe Sony's strategy is to get it out now, keep making content for it, and then re-release it for the PS5, maybe as a launch title, maybe not. But just get it out there and then push it. But right now it seems like the viral nature of the game online may be able to save it. It would be interesting to, and the developers have said this, that if you make an advanced enough game, it would be very interesting to be able to publish it to the PlayStation Store.
Yes, definitely.
That would be cool.
It would be really cool.
So, let's see, what else have we been playing?
Lately, I recently discovered, I'm personally a big fan of RPGs, just in general. And Ni no Kuni for the PlayStation 3 is a terrific game.
One that I still need to play. I have it on my Switch, and I haven't gotten to it yet.
It's very, very good. It's a little janky here and there, but it holds your attention. It's very charming.
Have you played the remastered edition?
I actually have not played the remastered yet. But what I'm getting to is not that the game was remastered, but that I think about a year or so ago, a dedicated group of fans of the game. So to preface this, the series of Ni no Kuni actually started on the DS in Japan, and it didn't.
Interesting.
It didn't make its way over here, the DS version.
Yeah, I wish it did, because growing up, I didn't even have a PS3 ever until like 1 year ago. And I'm a huge Studio Ghibli fan, and I've always wanted to play the game. And I've always known there was a DS one, and would have been able to play it when it came out if there was.
We didn't mention it, but Ni no Kuni is a collaboration between Studio Ghibli and the game developer Level 5. But the DS version, I kind of just started it because I downloaded the fan translation, and I've been checking it out. The translation's really solid. It's very direct. So certain characters are named differently between the official PS3 and the remastered translation. is a little different, which is interesting. But
does it follow the same story as the PS3 game?
It follows a similar story, I believe.
So it's the same characters and everything.
Yeah, mostly.
I know Ni no Kuni 2 has separate characters, right?
Ni no Kuni is a completely different game, but the DS version is actually sort of like it's a very bizarre game because it follows the same story as the PS3 one.
Interesting.
Like the same exact story. Like it's not a continuation.
Yeah, but obviously the gameplay is different.
The gameplay is different. It's like turn-based instead of real time, and the presentation is different.
Yeah.
But it's very, very interesting, and I just started playing that a few days ago.
Awesome. So can I just say, let's see, Level 5 made it, right? Developers Level 5. Bandai Namco published it here in the States, right?
Yes.
At least not the DS one. The DS one never released. Bandai Namco, if you are listening to this, episode 1 of the Game Grinder podcast, which I'm very doubtful that you will be, but if you are, and you take offense that Peter is playing a fan translation, release your game in the States.
Yes.
That's what I have to say to you, Bandai Namco. Release it here, and we will review it here for GameCube.
Also,
all right.
Obligatory Mother 3 statement, but...
Yeah. All right.
Got to throw it in.
Reggie, if you're listening to this, make Mother 3 happen.
Only you can do it, Reggie.
Please,
Only
we're begging you. Let's see, what else? The other game that we've both been playing is the totally radical, funky Toejam and Earl on the Genesis Classic. It was originally released on the Sega Genesis in who knows what year. Definitely the 1990s based on the aesthetic of this game.
Oh, yeah.
Wow, just like I had always heard of Toejam and Earl as a franchise. I've always known of it, like in the back of my head, like, oh yeah, Toejam and Earl, that exists. I knew there was one on the original Xbox as well. I never really knew what to expect. We went into this game, and oh my gosh, it's like if you took a completely, like, insane but comical 90s cartoon, Saturday morning cartoon, turned it into game form. You smushed that cartoon down into a game cartridge, shoved it on the Sega Genesis. That's what this is.
Yeah. This
game is quirky. It's cool. It's got everything.
It's funky. It's radical. It's bodacious, tubular, even. So
it's a roguelike, I believe, right?
Technically, yes.
Technically a roguelike.
Which is
bizarre,
but...
What strikes me off the bat, just right off the bat about this game is there's not really a combat system. It's kind of a chill game to sit down and play with a friend. It's 2-player split screen, which I commend it for having on the Sega Genesis. Yeah. And one person's Toejam, one person's Earl. And the plot is that the spaceship, you're going through space in your spaceship, and I forget exactly what happens, but it crashes or explodes or something.
Toejam decides to let Earl drive the spaceship.
Yeah, okay.
Big man Earl.
Yes, Earl's very big. He's got sunglasses. He's got a quite nice little strut. He's going along.
I will say I'm eternally an Earl main.
Toejam is a very skinny, little like tree branch looking dude.
It's kind of a gooey alien boy.
Yeah.
He's lanky. He's got 3 legs.
Oh, legs. Does he have multiple eyes?
He's got 2 eyes.
Okay. That's good that he doesn't have 1 or 3 eyes, just 2. It's the prime eye amount for Toejam.
Yes, I agree.
All right, so Earl drives the ship. He crashes it into the planet, right?
Ship crashes.
Explodes. Parts are everywhere. So this planet it's an odd one. You have multiple, like, floors, I guess you would call it, of, like, the crust of this planet.
They're like layers.
Yeah. So each stage is randomized, and you have to find an elevator to get up to the next stage. And certain stages have parts of the ship. I think there's 9 in total. You just walk around. You have to avoid hazards. You can get, like, pickups. So there are ways to deal damage and get items, but you don't necessarily always have them. Like, you can get tomatoes and then throw tomatoes at the enemies.
Yeah. But there's special power-ups that only last
they only last for a while. But I really like and appreciate the enemy variety. These enemies are so funny.
They are amazing video game enemies, truly.
Our good friend Caleb was watching us play this. He wasn't even playing, and he was just so entertained just watching us, because it's just one of those games. You could just watch it, and have so much fun, and you don't even have to be playing it.
Yeah.
They have we call it the Nerd Herd. That might be their official name.
I really hope it is. If it's not, Toejam and Earl devs did not know what they were doing.
Very animated for a Genesis game, because the animation is great.
Animation is terrific.
It's a pack of nerds just stampeding. They can crush you, stomp you flat. Let's see. I think he's a dentist.
Worst.
That's what we call him, is the dentist, right?
It's this
kind of. He's a very like skinny, like kind of. He has the proportions of like Satan or the devil or something.
Yeah, he's kind of doing like a little.
Yeah, he sneaks and slinks around, and he goes up to you and like stabs you with something or pinches you. I don't know what he does. He pokes you, and he goes. He's got a really funny laugh.
It's amazing.
Let's see. What are some other enemies? Chickens. There's like a troop of army chickens that have a cannon.
They're tossing tomatoes at you. Yeah. That sucks.
Oh, the Ooga Booga man.
Oh yeah, there's like a little shadow guy who like comes up near you and he goes oogie boogie boogie and he scares you and it like does damage.
It does. It's really annoying.
They're really hard to deal with because they're so fast.
We had this floor that kept spawning multiple Oogie Boogie guys. And they're faster than you are, because this stage we were on was covered in mud, so it's really hard to like traverse at a normal rate. So you're already going slow, and then these Oogie Boogie mans are just like dashing after us, just Oogie Boogie Boogie Boogie, Oogie Boogie Boogie Boogie, and it's like, oh my god. But Toejam and Earl, pretty solid game.
Toejam and Earl gets a groovy out of 5.
Yeah, we might review it as one of our first games. We're thinking about reviewing Toejam and Earl. That's not an official review score,
but
yes.
You know, put that on the temporary. You can put that on the fridge, you know. Pin it to the fridge with a magnet.
So those are the two games, Dreams and Toejam and Earl are the two games I've been playing with you.
Yes.
But is there another game you've been playing, or is that it?
I think for now we can go over that. I've been playing a couple other games, but I think for now.
Yeah, we can move on.
Yeah.
All right. So next segment is yours. So go ahead.
All right. So now we have weekly news, which, in case you don't know, is the news of the past week. So
really,
it is.
Interesting.
It's true. The rumors are true.
Wow.
This is weekly news.
Is there a Nintendo Direct confirmed?
Well, we actually just had one for Animal Crossing.
Wait, but I want a normal Nintendo Direct.
Well,
but I've seen
sure
all
sucks
the rumors.
To be you.
There was supposed to be one 2 weeks ago, 1 week ago, 3 weeks ago. When is it, Peter? Do you have this info to reveal?
Unfortunately, I do not.
Okay.
But if I did, I would love to be the first to tell you that we're getting a full Nintendo Direct. Sometime soon, but...
You heard it here first, folks. A full Nintendo Direct sometime soon.
Sometime in the future.
Yes.
But I don't want to downplay the Animal Crossing Direct or be one of those people who's like...
It was pretty good.
Screaming about there not being a full like Direct for everything lately, because we've had like a Pokemon Direct and we had like a Smash Direct and like all this other stuff, which I'm okay with. There's some games I want to see more from, but I'm cool with it.
Yeah.
And the Animal Crossing Direct was fantastic. It was really good.
It was. They shared a lot of new features.
I love Animal Crossing. Yeah. I've been a fan of the series ever since I was a kid.
Yeah.
So I'm going to buy it.
One thing that stood out to me, though, that was kind of weird is they're kind of bragging about the fact that they're supporting the game with free DLC. But all the free DLC, or at least it seems like all the free DLC, is stuff that's already been in the game from the start in past games. Like, they're all like the holiday events, and they're saying it's like free DLC.
I do think it's weird that they're saying like they're adding it. They talk about it like they're adding it in like an update.
Yeah.
Instead of it's like a clock thing. Which is actually interesting because I theorize, and this is a theory, this isn't fact, but
a game theory.
I'm just gonna call it a theory.
Okay.
But I think that they're trying to crack down on time traveling. Which, if you're unfamiliar with Animal Crossing, it's a life sim game. If you want to cheat it, the easiest way to do it is to change the clock around so you can do whatever seasonal events you want whenever you want. And I have a theory that I think they're like trying to crack down on people doing that, which like, I don't know. it's kind of whatever for me because like
yeah, I don't really care.
Because like I don't see why to crack down on it because it's just like
would time travel back in 2010, Animal Crossing City Folk on the Wii, my first one.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, I no shame. I time traveled all the time playing Animal Crossing. But you know, it's a life sim game, so I get that they want to keep it like in order. But either way, Animal Crossing Direct was really good. Game looks great. I'm really excited to see more of it when it comes out, see what people do with it, because there's so much customization too. Yeah.
You could completely change the way your not really a town anymore, your island looks.
Yeah. It's literally like I remember we were watching it and they start digging through the island and I'm like, wow, they're really like, it's Minecraft. I mean, it's not Minecraft.
Yeah, you could take out and put in cliffs, water, you could dig down through cliffs. You could do whatever, really.
But they're definitely
play God mode in Animal Crossing.
Yeah, but they're definitely taking a step closer to other games where you can customize your environment, and I think that's really good for Animal Crossing, and I'm excited to see how crazy we can get with all that.
Yeah, that'll definitely be a big time sink for me when that comes out.
Yeah.
Love Animal Crossing.
Everyone should.
Yeah.
Honestly. All right. So, next up, we have news about Persona 5 Royal, which, in case you don't know, Persona 5 came out, I want to say like 3 years ago or so.
I think like 2015, right?
Oh, has it been that long?
Or 2016?
Oh, yeah, no.
Hang on, I'll look it up.
I played it like, I think like a year and a half ago. But,
it came out September 2016? I don't really... Was that the Japan release date? Because I remember it coming out like in spring or summer.
I don't know. That's interesting.
Hang on, I'm still looking.
All right. Well, while you're looking, Persona 5 Royal is changing potentially what were homophobic scenes in the original game. Kind of where these,
I remember those. Yes.
Yeah. Here's the thing: is I'm usually against games getting censored for the Western release.
So are they still in it in the Japanese release?
They are.
This is just a localization
thing?
It's
just a localization thing.
Okay, so my question then is why weren't these changed in the original one if they're going to change them now? It's probably just due to the outcry of the fans over the original.
I don't know if it's necessarily due to an outcry. I think it could be just like somebody looked at it in like the localization division and was like, this might go over poorly with some people
and they couldn't think that years ago when Persona 5 came out, like 2 or 3 years ago.
Better late than never.
Yeah.
But for those who don't know, there are these kind of weird like scenes that are supposed to be comedy where like these two very like obviously like stereotyped gay dudes like hit on this kid who's
17, I think.
Yeah, he's underage.
Yeah.
Which is, you know,
at
weird.
The beach, in the Red District. These are just some examples of when these two characters appear in the game. And do we know, like, so they're changing it, but are these two characters, are they still in the game, or have they just been completely removed, or do they just have different dialogue?
That, I believe, is unknown.
Okay.
People don't know exactly how they're going to change it, but either way, they're going to hopefully change it, make it a little more tasteful, so you don't have to kind of have these cringy moments where it's like, that's not how gay people are.
So everywhere I'm looking, I just keep getting, never mind. One date saying that Persona 5 came out September 15th, 2016. For whatever reason, I don't believe that date, but it's probably real.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. So
there's something else with Persona 5, right?
Yes.
Yes.
And Persona Atlas, who's the
publisher and developer.
Yes, for Persona 5.
Now owned by Sega.
Yes. Are telling fans to keep fighting for Persona 5 on Switch, which, if you don't know, the main protagonist of Persona 5 is a playable character in Smash as DLC, which obviously Smash is a Switch exclusive, so it's very weird that the game itself is PS4 exclusive. Yet the like Warriors game, Persona 5
Yeah, and
Scramble,
they actually are marketing that as a direct sequel to Persona 5 as well.
I actually didn't know that.
Yeah.
But
and from what people have seen, it like borrows assets and systems and is actually very similar to a Persona game other than the different gameplay. And like I think it has like the day system and everything and social links as well. And it has new cutscenes entirely, like all this stuff, and is a direct continuation of the story, or at least I've heard. I'd have to look into it a bit more, but I remember other news outlets saying that having very good initial impressions of this game.
From what I've seen of it, it looks really fun. I've never actually played a Warriors game, so this might be my first.
I've never beaten one. I've played them. They are fun. I've played the Fire Emblem Warriors on the Switch, and a long time ago, or not too long ago, 2013, I think, played Hyrule Warriors on the Wii U. And I actually I remember not initially liking Hyrule Warriors that much and enjoying Fire Emblem Warriors a lot more. It had some weird different systems. Like Fire Emblem would display the map with the grid system, and you could go in and attack other enemies in the red squares, I believe. It's a fun little easy way to make money by putting popular franchises into different styled games.
It's like pop figures, but not terrible.
Yeah.
Anyway, if you do not own a PS4, or if you just want Persona on Switch, developer says keep asking for it. So
keep begging on Reddit.
Yep.
Persona fans.
Beg on Reddit, scream on Twitter.
I honestly think I'd rather have the other Personas on the Switch. I'd love 5 on the Switch, don't get me wrong, but 4 Golden is locked to the Vita. That would be really nice if they ported that to the Switch.
Please port that one.
Especially that one, though. But I would also like to play 3, and then not so much the first 2. And by first 2, I mean first 3, because there's 2 versions of the second game.
Well, it's a first game and a sequel.
Yeah, so there's 3.
Yeah. Persona 1 is interesting, to say the least. Persona 2 is actually a good game if you like
Which
old
one?
RPGs.
The first Persona 2 or the second?
I've played the first Persona 2, but not the second one.
Okay.
The first one is Innocent Sin, which, in case you don't know, main antagonist of that game is just Hitler. Look it up. It's real.
There's also a thing in one of the Dragon Ball movies. Hitler comes back from the dead. A bunch of people do, but there's a scene with Hitler specifically. And then the entire Nazi army. And 2 of the characters who are little kids go Super Saiyan in front of Hitler. And then he's very happy that they have blue eyes and blonde hair.
Is that real?
Yeah, that's real. You can look it up. I've seen the scene.
Wow.
And then they destroy the Nazi army. They 2 little kids by themselves destroy the Nazi army.
What is this movie called?
I think it's called Dragon Ball Fusion, Dragon Ball Fusion Unleashed or something. Dragon Ball Hitler movie.
Dragon
Ball Hitler movie coming to a theater near you.
Nick just Googled Dragon Ball Hitler movie.
Dragon Ball Z Fusion Reborn. It came out in 1995.
Fusion Reborn sounds like a subtitle for something when you're really grasping at straws to make a sequel name.
I think that one's a well-liked movie, though.
Yeah, well.
Because a lot of the Dragon Ball movies are kind of stale, but there's a few that are actually pretty good.
I mean, I don't know anything about Dragon Ball, so yeah, fair game. So on to our next piece of news. I got a fun one for you because it's not really news, but it's kind of a current event thing, which is Ninja, the famous Fortnite streamer, made an interesting comment on Twitter, which was essentially talking about the whole people saying, "Oh, it's just a game when you lose," and he had kind of a hot take on that, which, whether intentional or not, the kind of way that it comes out like the way he says it is
Yeah.
Should I just read the tweet?
Yeah, read the tweet.
Okay.
I'd love to hear
So
this.
here's the tweet. Quote now. The phrase "it's just a game" is such a weak mindset. You are okay with what happened. Losing, imperfection of a craft. When you stop getting angry after losing, you've lost twice. There's always something to learn and always room for improvement. Never settle. Now, I just want to talk about this because I kind of agree with the message he's trying to send off. And neither me or Nick are...
I don't really like... I guess the final message that there's always something to learn, but the fact that he thinks you should stay angry after losing, like...
Yeah, that's the part. Like, okay, neither me or Nick are, like, competitive gamers
not
at all. But,
yeah.
It's just so silly to be like, if you're not mad at, like, if you're not spiking your controller into the floor after, like, whatever game you just lost, then you're not learning, you're not improving, and you lost twice.
Also, to bring back Dragon Ball again, that's totally like a Dragon Ball mindset. Like, there are definitely characters in Dragon Ball that are like, oh, the angrier I am, the more powerful I am. Yeah. You know, like... So maybe Ninja is a Dragon Ball character.
Well,
he's got blue hair.
Yeah.
So he's Super Saiyan God.
Okay. So glad we've debunked that Ninja is officially Super Saiyan, but it's a very, very interesting tweet. Anyway, moving right along. Next piece of news. Halo Infinite gets official Nerf blasters this fall.
I dig it.
Yeah. I don't have much to say on this one because...
I know what to say, and I'll say it. I want the Nerf Needler. I'm going to buy 2 of them, dual wield it. Come on down to the suite here. We're at a college dorm building right now, if you're wondering.
Very, very secret.
Yeah, very secret location. Bring them through and just pew, 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 pew. All my friends with the Needler, except it's just Nerf bullets.
Also, I'm pretty sure
darts.
I'm pretty sure we can't have Nerf guns on campus, technically. I think it's actually against school rules.
Too bad. All right.
Wouldn't be the first rule we've broken on campus, but if you're a Halo fan and a Nerf fan, it's Nerf or nothing. So there you go. On to the next piece of news. A Sony patent suggests a new PSVR controller could be in development.
Also, I just want to throw out there that we're getting all these stories from IGN, so if you want to find them, go there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't actually know that much about PSVR in general. VR
I've got one. It's a novel thing that I was very into with one of my friends. We had always been following like the development of like, was it Project Morpheus, I think they called it before it came out. It was out for a few years, just going around trade shows and showing it off.
I remember the name Project Morpheus just because of how edgy it was.
Yeah. Tried it before it came out at a demo. Loved it. Got it at midnight. I was one of the few people in that line at GameStop who got the day one, like, I think it came with a couple games, or one game, the PlayStation Worlds, and it came with the Move controllers. It was a good deal, and they barely had any, so I was lucky to get it. And went home, had a good old time with it, and I barely used the thing. It's very annoying to set it up. There are wires galore. They're everywhere. They're coming out of everything when you're using PSVR, and it's just it's a pain. You know?
Well, I mean, that's how it is with early technology.
Yeah.
Is they don't have like the fine points down, so it's just a lot of wires everywhere.
But when I have fun with it, I do have fun with it. It's just I'm usually too lazy to be in a PSVR mood to set it up.
Yeah, that can be the make or break decision when you want to play a game. It's like, do I want to set it up? You know, I've been there.
Yeah,
I have. But yeah. So, what do you know anything about this new patent?
I'm looking through it now. It's titled a controller device, and it's a remote-like VR controller that shares some similarities with the current PlayStation Move controllers, but it also has its fair share of upgrades. This is per IGN. See, like the PlayStation Move controller, which has been around since the PlayStation 3 era, the patent shows a controller with a wand-like shape, 4 small face buttons, a trigger on the back, and a larger center button. So what is different? The giant light ball is gone. Interesting. So maybe with PS5 VR, they're going to cut out the PlayStation camera to get rid of the Move stuff altogether.
Interesting.
See, it has finger sensing technology as well that can detect contact from the user's fingers. So that's cool. You could probably band individual fingers in games.
I do want to know if it detects toes.
We'll find out.
We'll have to test it.
Yes.
I feel like that's something I need to know. I just thought of that.
Would you buy PSVR 2 if it had a toe sensor?
I feel like I want them to make an official attachment that's like hands and feet. I want like PSVR like shoes, like slippers.
Yeah, and are the sensors like in the tips of the shoes, and then they see when you're wiggling your toes?
Yeah.
Also, what game feature would that be related to? Like, why would you need to wiggle your toes in a game?
Even
in real life, I don't really see benefit to wiggling my toes.
Here's the great thing about video games.
Yeah.
Is that somebody will find some way to use it somehow.
Okay.
And it'll be I can guarantee you can make a great video game about wiggling your toes.
Maybe you'll do it in dreams.
Maybe.
Stay tuned, folks. Yeah. Stay tuned.
Stay tuned for Toe Game.
Yes. All right.
So enough of that. That's enough toes for this podcast. Next piece of news. Tom Holland says that
Tom Holland plays Spider-Man. If you don't know who he is, he's a young actor, talented. He always looks like there's a frog in his mouth. That's a thing. Look it up. Tom Holland frog mouth.
I'll take your word for it.
Yeah, I don't even know what comes up if you search that. I'm just hoping I do.
Yeah. Hopefully.
Maybe you'll get some weird stuff.
Yeah. You know what? Search that with Google Safe Search on.
Yeah. That'll work out for you.
I don't want liabilities.
Yeah. All right, so what about Tom Holland? Sorry to cut you off.
So, the Uncharted movie will apparently start filming in 4 weeks.
Ooh.
And if you don't know about the Uncharted movie, it's gone through development hell because it's had like 6 different...
Yeah, I think they're on their 7th director with the start of filming. If I look through here and see
Tom
who
Holland
it
is playing
Nathan Drake, yeah. So here's a quote from Holland himself. If I'm honest, one of my favorite video games ever is the 4th Uncharted game. Unbelievable. And lots of inspiration from the film has come from the game in particular. So a lot of people had been thinking this whole time that the film was going to be based off of the 3rd Uncharted game because there's like flashback segments with a younger Nathan Drake. And Holland basically said that they're going to be like kind of shifting some elements of the 4th story to make him younger. Because they're starting with the younger one, yet it's also not his first adventure, it seems, at the same time. So they're taking that character that you know and you love. They're twisting some things. They're going to make it new and exciting. Yeah.
Nathan Drake's a great character, though. I will say. I don't know how big a fan I am of the Uncharted games, but I'm a pretty big fan of the Uncharted story. Mm-hmm. I think the story's great.
Yeah.
You know.
I think it'll work well as a movie if they do it right.
Yeah. You know, we'll see.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, video game movies have had kind of a resurgence.
Yeah, Detective Pikachu and the Sonic movie.
Yeah.
Both. I'd say both of them were enjoyable, but not amazing. Maybe the Uncharted movie will be the first amazing video game movie. And we have Peter laughing over here at me saying
I'm
that.
laughing. Well, I'm laughing because we brought up the Sonic movie, but I promised that I wouldn't talk about toes again, but that's literally all I have to say about the Sonic movie.
Okay. Thank you, Peter.
Next piece of news. Final Fantasy VII Remake will seemingly be 100 gigabytes.
Ooh.
That is a fat amount of gigs.
Mm-hmm. I believe that is the amount that... Let's see, how much can fit on a PS4 Blu-ray disc? Because there's going to be 2 PS4 Blu-ray discs included. I think it's 50 gigs each.
We're doing the Red Dead Redemption 2 treatment.
Yes. To the dismay of Davids everywhere. And if you don't know, a David is a person who does not like PS4 games having 2 discs for whatever reason. Just personal experience.
Yeah.
Know some Davids that were very upset that Red Dead came on 2 discs.
Hey, that's how it be.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so if you're like me and you're a filthy weeb for Final Fantasy VII, clear your hard drives, because
Yeah, I gotta play Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah,
I'm looking forward to playing the demo for this remake, but I don't think I'll be able to play this remake until I've played the original game.
I would love to watch you play the original, because the original kind of defines what it means to be a janky PS1 game.
Yeah, maybe I'll
original Final
it.
Fantasy VII is a great game, but
I've played and beaten Final Fantasy IX. That's the only one I've beaten, but I've also played Final Fantasy X and Final Fantasy V.
To me, Final Fantasy VII is kind of like your it's like seeing your best friend from high school again, and you're really happy to see him, and you give him a big hug, but he like smells a little bit, you know. It's not like he doesn't reek, you know, but like you kind of oof.
Yeah, he's looking a little janky.
It's like I think like maybe you ripped, but you know, but you love him anyway. You love him anyway. He's a great guy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, on to our next piece of news. Nintendo reveals a new Coral Switch Lite color.
Woohoo! So, all you Switch Lite fans, there's a new color for you, and it's a pinkish red kind of coral.
I already have a Switch. I don't have plans to buy a Switch Lite.
No, me neither. I'm getting the Animal Crossing New Horizons Switch to get that upgraded battery capacity.
Man, that is a tempting offer.
You want one? I'll sell you mine for $500 because it's sold out everywhere. Can't find this anywhere else, Peter. Right now, one-time offer. I won't offer it to you again.
I'm gonna have to pass.
Okay.
Because
you'll regret that.
Maybe I will, but I do want to say that I'm a big fan of the color pink. Coral Switch looks nice.
Yeah, I like it.
Honestly, from an aesthetic stance, it looks good.
So I don't see myself getting a Switch Lite unless they're like $100 or less in like 5 years from now. But my input on Switch Lite is I like the design because it goes back to like the GBA PSP look, and I like that. I enjoy that look. But maybe if it was a little smaller, because the current size, I see like the demo kiosk at stores, doesn't really look like something that would fit in my pocket too well.
Really?
If it was closer to PSP size, maybe it would be cooler.
I'm going to actually argue with you on this because
you got some big pockets, Peter.
Okay,
you talking sweatshirt pockets or jean pockets?
No. Take the pockets out of the equation for a second, okay? I don't know if y'all can see. I got some big hands on me.
Here's my hand for comparison.
Yeah, like I got some big hands. I'm a tall dude, but the Switch Lite is like. Oh, like I've held it in like store.
You felt it up?
No. I have held the video game console.
You didn't feel it?
I felt the video game console.
Yeah, but you didn't quite feel it up.
Okay.
Moving on.
What I'm gonna say is that I think that the Switch Lite is like it's even a little small for my hands personally.
Yeah.
So like if anything, I was like when I held it, like I was like surprised at how small it was. I mean, it's definitely like more like purse sized, or if you have like one of those like hoodies with like kind of like 2 pockets that are like one, you know, it's kind of like
zipper pocket. We'll keep it secure in there.
Yeah, it's more like that kind of thing, but like for what it is, I think the Switch Lite is cool.
Yeah. All right.
I already have a Switch, so not for me.
Yeah.
But
my Switch is kind of broken. It works, but it's kind of broken, which is one of the reasons why I'm getting a new one.
His Switch is cool. It just screams.
Yeah. So here's the story. We were playing. I don't remember the name of this game. I think Horizon Chase Turbo, that racing game Pretty good game.
Oh yeah.
In
I forgot
Peter's
we
dorm
had a
room
whole-
last year, the lights were turned off. There were 4 of us in the room. The dock was in front of the TV with wires spilling across the room. And I had come back from the bathroom. On my way back, I tripped on the dock cord, and my Switch went flying out of it like a projectile, landed across the room, and the right Joy-Con was bent in at a 90-degree angle, and I had to snap it back in place. The Switch works fine, though, right? Ever since that day, that red Joy-Con will slip out, so you can never hold it by that, or your Switch will just right to the floor. And then the fan seems to have broken just a tad bit. And whenever you're playing anything on my Switch, this is what you hear.
I like the artist's rendition.
Yes, thank you. And it never stops. You can bang it and it'll stop. So I frequently am spanking my Switch. But
So you're feeling up switches and now
no.
spanking
You're
them.
feeling them up. I'm spanking them.
I don't like these allegations.
I don't either. Let's stop talking about them. But
Alright.
the fan is a little out of control. The games work fine, but in a public setting, it's a little loud.
Yeah.
And by a public setting, I mean my science class here at school. 'Cause
Means
we were playing
our
it in
science
class.
that
yeah.
we sit in the back of the lecture hall and play
Super
Super
soccer.
Nintendo
It was
soccer.
Super soccer.
Yeah. Why was that? Never mind. I don't know why that was the game of choice that day, but it was. Thank you, Nintendo Switch Online. Also, thank you for not having Tetris Attack. Please put that on. Anyway, next piece of news. Done with talking about the Switch. We have Overwatch news. Yay. Overwatch cartoon and Diablo anime seem to be on their way.
Great.
Yes, dude.
I think both of these can have potential. I like the Overwatch art style. I know you don't, but I think it can work well as a cartoon.
Poopy doo-doo.
Okay. You're entitled to your opinion. And I don't know much about Diablo, but from what I do know, I really can't see it working as an anime because that's like a completely different art style from the game, but maybe it'll be cool. So I know there's the Castlevania anime. That looks cool.
It is really good.
The creator of that is making a Devil May Cry anime.
I'll probably check that out, even though I don't know.
Yeah, we got to play those games.
On the list.
Look forward to it.
Yeah, totally. If you're still a Blizzard fan after,
oof,
you guys are loyal, like Sonic fan loyal. So I cannot fault you for being loyal people. I can't. All right, next piece of news. Box office: Sonic the Hedgehog races past the competition. It's the title of the IGN article. But yeah, if you don't know, the Sonic the Hedgehog movie is doing better at the box office than
Birds of Prey.
Well, not just Birds of Prey, but also Detective Pikachu, which is a similar styled movie. So, also, Pokemon, biggest media franchise in the world. Sonic's doing better than it. How could this be? Could it be marketing? Yes.
Perhaps.
That's gonna do it. Personally, my kind of theory on the whole Sonic thing is that I don't know if they did it on purpose. The original design was terrible, as we all know. I don't know if they did it on purpose necessarily, but it brought in a lot of people to defecate on the movie prematurely before it came out, and rightly so. The design sucked. It was ugly. Manhog, awful, terrible. And then they redesigned him, and they listened to the fans, which, kind of crazy that when you listen to your fans, things turn out better, and
they
the redesign
listen to the fans in almost every way. He still doesn't have connected eyeballs.
I mean, that's always been the...
I follow the original creator of Sonic on Twitter, and he still to this day will complain that the eyeballs aren't connected.
Does
He's
he really?
Really upset about that, yeah.
I didn't know that. It bothers me about his design, too.
I thank Yuji Naka, but I may be wrong.
But, yeah, Sonic is doing really well. Very disappointing number of people had sex after seeing the Sonic movie.
It came out on Valentine's Day.
It did come out on Valentine's Day.
If you were wondering where that statement came from.
That's just a fact. Like, I can't prove it, but we all know it's true.
A lot of Sonic babies coming our way.
Yeah. So, hey, if you get born in November, maybe we share a birthday. Sonic movie. Solid 2 out of 5 for me.
2 out of 5?
But
2.5 out of 5.
3 out of 5 for the experience of going to see it.
Okay.
I will say that.
There was someone in our theater wearing like one of the Sonic hats, like with the quills going out the back.
He was a god.
Legend.
Truly.
Yeah.
True legend.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Next piece of news. PlayStation 5 manufacturing costs reportedly at around $450 per unit.
That's a bit much.
God damn, that is a lot of money.
I'd say the perfect console launch price is $400 at most. The PS4 launched at $400, and look at it now.
True. I gotta say, first of all, I just want to bring up that that's the manufacturing cost. That's not necessarily how much the console's going to cost.
Yeah, that was something I was going to bring up, is how much do you think it's going to cost? Will Sony lose money after each sale of the console?
Yeah, I don't think they're going to, so I'd say it's going to be at least $500.
I think Sony's getting a little too confident right now, you know? I think they're getting back to their cocky state of being number one in the industry and making some mistakes, but maybe they'll surprise us. We don't know.
Yeah.
I'd like them to stay. Even when they do make mistakes, the PS3 turned out to be a great console in the end. So.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I do agree. I think I see this just with this news that's coming out. Obviously, there's still a lot that we don't know. But based on some of this kind of stuff, I'm getting a vibe that we're going to have like a PS3 launch situation where the console's way too expensive. No one buys it.
A lot of people are predicting around like 500 actually. So hopefully it's less than that.
Yeah, that is a bit steep for my pockets. I definitely will not be buying
like a year.
Yeah, I'm not the kind of guy who buys consoles at launch.
I'm a Nintendo console buyer at launch. And I usually get PlayStations like a year later.
Yeah. I don't buy a game console until there is either one game that I like majorly want to play and is like worth it to me to buy a new console, and like there are other games I want to play too. But yeah, I definitely, the PS5 is looking like something I'm going to wait on a while. So, maybe they'll change. Maybe they'll change things. You never know.
You know what? Sony, if you're listening to this, send us here at the Game Grinder Podcast, brought to you by GameCubed, a PlayStation 5 review unit. And we'll review it for you.
We will review it inside and out. Garrett?
Yes.
Hey, if you send me...
Contact us, Sony.
Send me something to review. I will review it. That is my promise. All right. Next piece of news. The auctioned Nintendo PlayStation prototype console will be the most expensive video game item ever. Current bid is $350,000.
Wowza.
Yes. Wowza. Wowie zowie even.
Ooh.
So for those who...
Bazinga.
We're editing that out.
Nope. I'm the editor, and that's not happening.
I tried to stop him. Anyway, for those who don't know, the Nintendo PlayStation is during the Super Nintendo's life cycle, Nintendo wanted to produce a CD add-on potentially for it, and out of that came some weird stuff. That's kind of where the like Philips CDI console comes from, if you know what that is.
The Nintendo games on the CDI console were because Nintendo had a deal with Philips to produce the CD add-on, which they did not tell Sony about, which is why Sony made their own consoles as an act of revenge.
Yeah.
And then the part of the Philips deal was that Philips would be allowed to have Nintendo properties on their console, and Nintendo never made a Philips attachment. So Philips really made out in that deal. And so did the fans.
Gee, it sure is boring around here.
I wonder what's for dinner.
Anyway, so the Nintendo PlayStation is actually a early prototype that was found of what the like Super Nintendo CD would have been. So it's a very, very interesting collector's item because arguably the two biggest game companies that are at opposition now, were once in cahoots. And it's a very interesting piece of history.
Yeah, and apparently the highest bidder, or at least he's claiming to be the highest bidder, is Palmer Luckey, the founder of Oculus.
Interesting.
And he wants to win it so he can preserve it, because apparently he has one of the biggest collections of preserved games.
Really?
But I'm not sure if he makes them public, which is kind of a concern. But
yeah, game preservation is very important.
Yeah.
Support people who preserve video games because it is
very
important to
when
video
they're
game
lost,
industry.
they're lost forever.
Yes. And there are many games that are already potentially lost forever.
Yeah.
So, we want to preserve it because video games are pretty neat. That's why we made a podcast about them.
I preserve games. I have PT on a PS4 hard drive.
There you go.
Yeah. $900 if you want to buy it from me right now.
I'm not interested.
Okay.
But thank you for the offer.
You'll regret that. Just like you'll regret not buying the Animal Crossing Switch from me.
We'll see. I didn't realize our podcast was about selling me things.
Yes.
Anyway.
That's why I started this, folks. Little does Peter know.
The truth comes out?
Mm-hmm.
All right, next piece of news. Disney wants more games that reimagine its stories and characters.
Yes, please. Give it all to me right now, except not classic Disney things. Just Star Wars and Marvel, please.
Disney, where's the Song of the South video game?
It's going to be in Kingdom Hearts 4.
What if, though?
Sora encounters racism.
Truly the most powerful Heartless of them all.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, God. Yeah, so... I mean, that's kind of... It's interesting news.
Okay, so if you're wondering why... I'm scrolling through this IGN article, and there's just a big old picture of Peter Griffin looking straight through the screen.
A nice crisp JPEG.
Yeah. And we were not expecting to see that.
Yeah,
so
I just peered over.
Thank you, IGN, for this Peter Griffin picture.
Just peered over at my man's laptop. Oh man. So yeah, maybe we'll get Family Guy video games again.
Family Guy Kingdom Hearts.
That's scary, but I'm interested. So we'll see. There are good Disney licensed games out there.
Yeah, there are, definitely. I think that EA should remain making Star Wars games, but not exclusively. I want them to give it to any quality developer that wants to develop it. A new golden era of Star Wars games. Yeah. It would be beautiful.
I don't really care about Star Wars, but more good games are more good games.
Yes.
So, I'm here for it. All right.
Next, wait, we have one more thing. This is kind of my news, is that Sega announced that in the U.S., Sakura Wars will be headed to PlayStation 4 on April 28th, 2020. This is a series that's been around for a while. I believe it first came out on the Sega Saturn, and there were like 3 of them on the Sega Saturn. It is a tactical role-playing series similar to Fire Emblem, or at least I think it is. So these games have never come out in the U.S. before. Those 3, there were 1 or 2 on the Dreamcast. Then there was 1 on the PS2 that was localized not by Sega in the U.S. and then ported to the Wii. Ever since then, there hasn't been anything in the series. And this new Sakura Wars, which is now like a action combat-y kind of game, it's not the traditional gameplay, is being localized. I'm excited for this. It looks cool. Hopefully it's good. The artist who did Bleach is in charge of like the art design.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll peep it. I'll see what's going on. Sounds really interesting.
There's mechs.
Hey, mechs are mechs. And mechs are pretty cool. That's why mech anime exists.
Yeah.
It's because people like big robots beating each other. All right.
I sure do.
We all do.
What's the next segment?
All right. The next segment on our show, we are done with weekly news, and now we are on to weird and wacky tales from the deep, dark depths of the games industry.
Whoa, I wonder what this week's is.
I can't believe that I said that in one try.
I can't either.
And today, we're going back about a year, I think.
This article is from December 14th, 2018.
Yeah, I'd say it's about a year.
Mm-hmm.
To the great tales of Riot employees farting on women. Good going.
Please elaborate.
Good going, Riot. So, for those who don't know, this is about a year ago. Riot Games, the company that makes League of Legends, the most popular, boring game that exists.
Ooh, strong statements.
Hot take.
Yeah.
We'll get to more hot takes, but Riot Games, apparently their CEOs just kind of treat their female employees like complete garbage, which includes farting on them.
COO Scott Gelb. He received a 2-month unpaid suspension in response to his workplace harassment of employees. This was from a Kotaku investigation. Thank you, Kotaku.
Yes. You have done good this time.
Let's see. So, numerous employees maintained that Gelb often touched employees' genitals and rear ends and farted in their faces.
Truly.
What the hell? How does this happen? How does this happen at a modern company? Especially in the games industry, not an indie company, not some strange company that no one knows. This is the creator of one of the largest game series. How does this happen?
You know, it's really interesting because I think it shows a connection between the majority of people who play League of Legends, which I'm not insulting if you play League of Legends, because if you play League of Legends, you know that the League of Legends community is unbelievably toxic.
Mm-hmm.
That everyone who has ever played League of Legends knows. I've played it for like only a couple of times and I have experienced toxicity. You know, it's just a well-known fact. But I think it's really interesting that kind of transcends to the developers themselves, is because League has this like aura around it of like in the same way that Smash players have this like preconceived notion that they're all smelly. Like basically everyone who plays League is like a terrible person, you know, stereotypically anyway.
That's cool.
And I think it's really funny because I feel like, you know, you take the like most salty League players and like they probably think that this is like totally cool. So it's just kind of ironic. Not really funny because, you know, harassment isn't cool in general.
Games industry needs to change in a variety of ways.
Yeah. The games industry is rough.
And I think it's slowly moving forward. It's slowly trudging forward.
We're getting there.
Dragged forward.
Getting dragged forward by rationally thinking people.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know. And this isn't even necessarily like a gendered issue. It's just like generally like treat your employees like human beings.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
It's just decency.
Yeah.
You know, it's not decency for women or for men. It's just decency. Don't fart on people.
Don't be, what's his name again? Gelb. Don't be Mr. Scott Gelb.
Yeah.
Gelb, maybe. I don't know how to say his name. Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
Nope.
The ultimate disrespect. Pronouncing his name wrong. Anyway, that's our That is our weird and wacky tale from the deep, dark depths of the games industry for the day.
For the week.
The week. This is not a daily podcast. This is a weekly podcast. But
yes,
But
heard
also
it here
maybe it's the one
first,
for your day.
folks.
You know,
Maybe.
Could be. All right, on to our next segment.
I'm excited for this one, Peter.
Now I like this segment because this segment is called "What's Poppin' with Peter," and it's all about what's poppin' with me.
All right.
And so I'm gonna be coming at you with a new hot take relating to video games every week.
Peter has these things called opinions.
I sure do.
And this is going to be where he shares them.
Yes.
So allow me to ask you for the first time, first time, what's poppin' with you, Peter?
What's poppin' is that people can't appreciate short and sweet video games.
Why not?
Because they're short, and people are paying full price for a video game, and they want something that eats
But if
up
I
all
can
their
beat
time.
it in 3 hours, it's not worth $60.
I strongly disagree.
And why do you disagree?
I disagree because it's not about the length of your experience. It is about the experience. It is about the quality of that experience. Now, I will say that I quite like RPGs, a lot of long games. I mentioned before, I like Persona 5. Incredibly excited for Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition.
Yes, me too, because as someone who's never played those games, I've always, 2 came out, and it got these awesome, I wouldn't call them rave reviews, but it got generally favorable reviews. Yeah. And I wanted to play it, but it's got a big old 2. I don't want to get the Wii version in 2020. I don't want to get the new 3DS version in 2020.
That's fair.
So they announced that. I'll play through that. I'll play through the second one. I'll play through Torna, and bam, I'm caught up.
I'm very...
But what about...
I actually haven't finished Torna.
Xenoblade Chronicles X. Will that ever come to the Switch?
Okay. See, Xenoblade fans are not going to like what I'm about to say. I don't think Xenoblade Chronicles X is a very good game.
And I don't know much about this game, but I do know the battle theme Black Tar. And after hearing that, I'd like to say this is my favorite Xenoblade game that I haven't played, which is all of them.
Honestly, based on your current knowledge, that is a completely fair opinion. And I will not challenge
And it has mechs that can fly to the moon.
It sure does. They can't fly to the moon, but they can fly.
I thought they could.
I don't think they can. It's been a while, but I'm pretty sure that's not a thing. Anyway, so I wanna talk about this because I always see people, I always see it in reviews, especially is people are like, oh, well, the game's a little short, so I don't know if I can recommend it necessarily. It won't necessarily eat up all your time, and it's like, doesn't matter. Is the game good? Yes or no? That's what you want to know out of a review.
And not always, but
well, it's important to mention a game's length, but it shouldn't factor into the review as much as I think it does currently.
Yeah. Also there's replayability. A lot of times you have these short games, and if you want to 100% them, that's what adds to the length.
Yeah, that can add to the length.
If there's really easy short games, usually that also makes them much more difficult, like the Yoshi games, Kirby games.
Totally. And I will say that, a lot of my favorite games are long games.
Yeah.
Some of my favorite games are pretty short.
Yeah.
I want to give a very, very specific example to a game. I occasionally actually like to sit down and play an entire game in a 1.5 hour session.
Yeah, it's always fun.
Occasionally.
Relaxing.
It's
a game you love, it brings you back to that great memory.
One of my favorite games to do that with is Klonoa Door to Phantomile for the PlayStation 1, which I'm going to assume that if you're watching this, you don't know what that game is, because nobody does, let's be frank. It is an incredibly underrated 2.5D platformer that came out pretty early on in the PS1. It was developed by Namco. And it's a super fun game,
And the style's really cool. Like, I haven't played this. I'm hoping they release it on, like, modern hardware. But watching Peter play it, it's just, like, it kind of has, like, a 3D plane that, like, rotates and revolves as the 2D sprites move around it. Yes. And it's a really cool effect for a PS1 game.
Yeah. No, it looks really cool. I really like the aesthetic of a lot of early PS1 games did this where they mostly still used sprites because that's what developers were used to, but they put in little 3D effects. And honestly, I think it's aged better.
I agree.
Other great games that do that are Suikoden 1 and 2 and Castlevania Symphony of the Night, which is another, by the way, Castlevania is another great game that I like to just flash through in one
Remember
sitting.
What happened when I played it? I got halfway through the classic. It gets to 100%, and the castle turns upside down and reveals that you're only halfway done with the game. And when that happened, I got agitated that the castle is upside down and stopped playing it.
Yup. And I can never forgive him because it's one of my favorite games ever.
Maybe I'll get back into it one day.
Maybe.
It's not simply just because the castle is upside down. I had like a hard time platforming it, which is weird because it's technically like almost the same layout as it was before.
No, it is tricky to move around.
I was like, oh, I don't like being upside down, and I stopped playing it.
But anyway, I wanna focus in on my selected topic, which I just want to say that Klonoa is a super short game. It's I can beat it in like an hour and a half, which I kind of like loosely speed run it, not like speed run it, but like I know how to get through it fast. And I love to do that just if I'm bored or like I just want to like relax and chill for an hour and just blast through the game. Super fun game to do that with.
Short games to relax and chill too.
Oh, honestly, it's like the same. It's the same vibe, and you know, I think, and I've seen people criticize Klonoa for like being really short, but like it's really good. I will say that like if you want to play the game, don't try and find a physical copy of it because it's like it'll charge you a lot of money because it's like $150 because it's a rare game.
That's a big chunk of money there for one game.
But you can get it on the PlayStation Network for like I think like $6 or $7.
Yeah, this is why they should re-release it, and it would probably sell well if it got an audience on like the Switch or PS4.
I honestly like with how like there's a resurgence of like these old kind of classic style 2D platformers, and especially all these like old mascot characters coming back. Like, I would love to see it come back.
I agree. I would love to experience it for the first time.
It and the sequel are two of my favorite games ever. I think they are genuinely, out of all the games that I've played, I think those are still like the two most solid 2D platformers I've ever played. They're really good.
That's quite a statement. This man has played a lot of
I have played a lot of classic games. I'm big into classic games. And, you know, I play some new stuff too, but it's like I've played a lot more classic games, I'd say.
Yeah.
So it is a very bold statement, but those games are incredible if you do play them. All right.
Ready to move on?
I am ready.
All right. Next segment. Weekly game releases. No shovelware. So there are a lot of shovelware titles thrown into PS4, especially the Switch.
Switch eShop has a big problem with that right now.
Every week. And if I label your game as shovelware and it's not, you feel it's not, don't be offended. I just couldn't tell. So sorry, indies, if I label your game as shovelware.
It just means they're weird, wacky. We've never heard of it. You know.
Sorry, but I'm going to go through first The Drop, which is the weekly PlayStation blog articles saying games that came out over the last week. So, and these are very fun to read through. There's weird grammar inconsistencies in lots of these descriptions. Not just PlayStation, especially on the Switch. So let's see. First game that came out, and I'm not going to read the description because this one's also on the Switch, so we'll get to it for that. But Darksiders Genesis came out on February 14th.
That's
digitally
a video game.
On PS4. Dreams came out February 14th.
That's a pretty neat video game that I have played, and it's very fun.
We will play some more of. If you can dream it, you can play it. Explore and play in an ever-expanding dreamiverse, bursting with games, music, art, and everything in between and beyond. Learn how to design your own games, animate, make music, and more with easy-to-follow tutorial videos, and then share your ideas in an online social network of creativity.
All right. I just want to say that description was pretty good.
Yeah.
I never want to hear the word dreamiverse again.
Dreamiverse. You're welcome.
Thank you.
Okay, moving on. Glass Masquerade 2 Illusions. Sorry, this might be shovelware, but for my our next segment is a shovelware segment, and it's only Switch games though. So I guess you are gonna hear some PS4 shovelware games.
Hey, maybe it's a good game.
Maybe.
But that title is really edgy.
Glass Masquerade 2 Illusions is a dreamlike collection of artistic jigsaw puzzles to piece together at your own relaxed pace. Dive into the rabbit hole of the abstract and the fantastical, putting together stained glass fragments to solve dreams and riddles. Enjoy Baroque depictions of 20th century imagination and puzzles more intricate and complex than the original. So for fans of Glass Masquerade 1, Glass Masquerade 2 is now out. And it doesn't have a date, so who knows when this came out. Yeah? Sleeping over there?
Oh, sorry, dude. That put me to sleep because, wow, that was not a great description, and it did not make me interested in playing that.
All right, maybe this one will. Mosaic on PS4 also doesn't have
simple title this time.
Doesn't have a date either.
I'd consider that an upgrade.
You live in a monotonous and repetitive, lonely life in a cold, overpopulated, ever-expanding city, moving through anonymous crowds on your way to another long day at a mega corporation. You have no real sense of meaning until one crucial day when strange things start to happen on your commute to work and everything changes. ...
Sounds either like one of those games that is way too pretentious, or it sounds pretentious and it's actually really good.
Yeah, maybe you should play it. Check it out.
Maybe.
Next up, we have Power Rumi, which came out digitally.
I like that name.
Me too.
That's a good one.
Rock, paper, scissors. With lasers. Avenge the people of Earth in this exciting Neo-Aztec shoot-'em-up. Power Rumi is a modern shoot-'em-up set in a retro-futuristic sci-fi pre-Columbian universe. Is that enough words in one sentence?
I feel like a lot of what you just said is just oxymorons.
Yeah. Take control of the almighty ship, Chukaru, and its 3 unique weapons.
I mean, okay, that, first of all, I just want to say, can you say the name of that game again?
Power Rumi?
That is such like a shoot 'em up name, you know?
Yeah.
I feel like all shoot 'em up games have like these
Ikaruga.
Yeah, like, I mean, that's like a Japanese word, but like, I feel like they're all like, it doesn't translate to English for some reason.
So next up, I'm not going to share the next game because I think it's a Switch game. So.
Okay.
Also, the next one is also a Switch game. Saboteur 2 Avenging Angel. Saboteur 2 Avenging Angel is the second part of the classic retro game hit made by Clive Townsend in 1985 for the ZX Spectrum 8-bit computer. Interesting, I didn't know that. In the game...
Not well-versed in classic PC gaming.
No, me neither. In the game, experience the original mission from the 1987 version and continue with new levels and enemies. Learn more about the sister of Saboteur and her dark and secret mission. Okay.
Hey, I mean, if you when you were a kid, you loved the Mr. Avenging Angel, he's back. For what it's worth.
I think it's a girl. It's a woman, not a Mr.
Damn
it's
it.
A miss.
Well, yeah, it's 20.
Maybe it's a guy with long hair. Who knows? It's the games industry.
You never know.
Next, we have Spaceland. A turn-based strategy that revives the traditions of old-school sci-fi tactics. Less covers, more action. Land on a lost planet and show the mutants what you're made of. Shoot, kick, blow up, and destroy. Assemble the most reckless team of fighters and unravel the mysteries of the mythical planet. After that, we have Underhero.
Ooh, I like the style of this game.
Yeah, it's pretty nice.
Like the title, a little art you got going on there.
Underhero is an RPG platformer where the chosen hero has failed, and an underling of the evil king reluctantly takes his place as the new hero. Use timing-based combat to defeat enemies as you venture across the land, face off against quirky bosses, and save the Chestnut Kingdom from your own evil boss, Mr. Stitches. I kind of like that description.
Yeah,
I would play this game.
That sounds kind of interesting, honestly. If that's like a cheap indie game, I might
might check it out.
Look-see.
Underhero. Okay. The Unicorn Princess.
Ooh.
Explore the world on horseback and help the inhabitants of your village. Befriend Unica, the unicorn, while exploring the real world in the world of dreams. From your village, the dream world is just a step away. You're the only one who can help Unica save her world. All right, if you're a 5-year-old girl listening to this podcast, this game is for you.
Okay, let me be fair, though.
The picture is a 5-year-old girl petting a unicorn.
The picture is well done, though.
Is it?
I don't know if it's, like, stolen. It looks kind of like storybook ish. And it's, like, I don't know, it's kind of a nice style.
Okay.
It doesn't sound like something
Peter's
for me.
Peter's a big fan of... Oh, never mind.
But
Peter's not a big fan of the Unicorn Princess.
I like
What do you have against the Unicorn Princess?
I don't have anything for or against the Unicorn Princess.
Okay. Fair.
But it is the Unicorn Princess. I like the name.
All right. Moving on to the next page of the drop. We have Autobahn Police Simulator 2.
Autobahn.
Okay.
Just so everyone knows how it's spelled.
Start an even more exciting career as a law officer on Europe's fastest road. Your adventure begins in the police station with your colleagues. Over the course of the game, you'll be able to develop the station, take on random missions, and move up in rank.
But can you do police brutality?
Perhaps. Bayonetta and Vanquish 10th Anniversary Collection. Experience the genesis of the Bayonetta series with the cult classic original action-adventure game and play as DARPA agent Sam Gideon in the hit sci-fi shooter Vanquish. Commemorate the 10th anniversary of Platinum Games' 2 most celebrated titles with this remastered dual pack.
Bayonetta is a sick game.
Yeah.
I have never touched Vanquish.
I've never beaten
I've never seen it.
Vanquish is a game I've always been interested in playing, so maybe I'll pick it up.
Yeah. From what I've played of Platinum's games, they are really good. I've played Bayonetta 1 and 2. I've also played Okami, even though that's not a Platinum game.
Technically not Platinum.
But, like,
it's
Kamiya. And Okami is, like, up there for me big time. Yeah. Bayonetta 1 and 2 are both sick games. So.
All right. Next up, we have DCL, the game.
Oh.
Experience firsthand the world of a professional drone pilot. DCL combines the adventure of free flight with the thrill of high-speed racing. Choose between different flight modes that guide new players from novice flyers to professional drone pilots. Do you have what it takes?
That acronym is dangerously close to something else, so it's kind of funny.
Yeah.
But, you know. If you like piloting drones, maybe it's for you.
Draugen. Draugen is a single-player, first-person Fjord Noir. Noir. Fjord?
I think it's... Wait, let me see.
Fjord.
I think it's pronounced Fjord.
Okay. Let's try that again.
Fjord.
Noir. Noir mystery set in 1920s Norway. Explore a forgotten coastal village in your search for your missing sister, accompanied by your enigmatic young ward. Together, explore a forgotten coastal community in rural Norway, I feel like I just said that, and unearth the darkness that lies beneath the picturesque surface.
There's some rough words in there.
Yeah.
If you're going to play that game, you better have a dictionary handy. Sounds like.
Hunt Showdown. Savage, nightmarish monsters roam the Louisiana swamps. and you are a part of a group of rugged bounty hunters bound to rid the world of their ghastly presence. Hunt's competitive match-based gameplay mixes PvP and PvE elements to create a uniquely tense experience where your life, your character, and your gear are always on the line.
All right, I will say, I don't know of any other video games that are set in Louisiana swamps.
Yeah.
So they definitely get
Props
points for that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Let's see. Nighton Plus. This is a cross-buy game for PS Vita and PS4.
Oh, in case you are one of those 5 people who not only owns a Vita, but also a PS4.
Don't insult Vita Island, Peter.
I'm not saying it's a bad console.
Help Sir Lutzelot conquer 4 dungeons by solving intricate puzzles and utilizing new abilities. Join brave Sir Lutzelot on his epic quest in this little adventure. Explore and fight your way through the 4 dangerous dungeons, filled with dangerous traps, devious puzzles, and magical artifacts.
That kind of gives me mobile game vibes.
Yeah.
But hey, maybe it's cool.
Townsmen, a kingdom rebuilt. Welcome, your highness. A vast land awaits you and is ready to be colonized. Send your architects and builders to plan and construct a city, and send your craftsmen to cut wood and mine ore. The crown is yours. Guide your people from their first steps in a small village to a massive medieval metropolis.
Did you say the crown is mine?
The crown is yours.
The crown's mine?
Yes. Your highness.
Yes.
All right. That is it for the last week of PlayStation games. We're going to move on to Switch games.
All right.
Starting with Reed Remastered. Long ago, in a beautiful and mysterious world, an old supercomputer created the digital world that is now breaking down. In a final effort to stop the impending end of the virtual space, a small creature named Reed was created to save the world. Help Reed collect information cubes in order to recalibrate the world and reboot the system. Avoid enemies and traps along the way to successfully move on to the next world. The virtual world now depends entirely on you and your platforming skills. Speedway Racing. Get ready to feel the speed. In Speedway Racing, you will enjoy the fastest, most spectacular races at over 230 miles per hour, avoiding multiple collisions against 20 rivals. There are several modes available, including Championship, Arcade, and 4-player multiplayer. There's also an online leaderboard where you can compare your best times with those of your friends and players from around the world. They wrote leaderboard with 2 words. I would expect it to be 1 word.
Generally it is 1 word.
Yes.
I don't know if that's technically incorrect grammatically, but could be.
See. Speed dating for ghosts. Branching dialogue, hard choices, a cemetery's worth of phantoms, wraiths, and poltergeists looking for love in all the blight places. Have you ever wanted to have deep, meaningful conversations with a smoldering poltergeist who terrorizes rich men in Vegas? How about a ghost dog looking for his owner? Or maybe you'd rather rob a bank. Ghosts are into all sorts of things. Part horror, part comedy, and kinda sorta heartbreaking. Speed dating for ghosts is a game like no other about finding companionship and closure in the afterlife. Meet more than a dozen ghosts of oh so many backgrounds, genders, and time periods. Learn how they died, as well as how they lived, and help them find peace. If they like you enough to open up first... Okay. That sentence was kind of long. Based on what you say and how you say it, some dates may turn ugly. Not everyone gets along, even in the afterlife. Rue Morg's best indie game of 2018 is finally on Nintendo Switch. For the first time, you can date Gary, Hattie, Kyo, and so many other spooky customers on the bus, on the couch, in a library, wherever you take your game.
I will say that I have not heard of this game.
No, but it sounds interesting.
But take notes, because speed dating for ghosts is how you title a video game.
Yeah.
Because that I'm interested.
Mm-hmm. Check it out.
I just am.
Snack World: The Dungeon Crawl Gold. This is a level 5 game, by the way. The same developers of Ni no Kuni.
I'm not too familiar with this game, but... Mm-hmm.
Well, let me read the description to you.
And maybe I will become.
Let the dungeon crawl begin. After your village is invaded, become a heroic adventurer and seek revenge against the villainous Sultan Vinegar In this RPG, crawl through randomly generated dungeons in your search for rare treasure and team up with up to 3 other players in local or online multiplayer to take down tenacious tyrants.
I do like roguelike style stuff, so I'll probably check it out. And I also love Level 5. They make some good games.
I've heard some good things about it, some bad things about it. Darksiders Genesis. Explore the epic world of Darksiders and wreak havoc with a friend in 2-player cooperative mode. Darksiders Genesis is an action-adventure that tears its way through hell and back with guns blazing and swords swinging. Genesis gives players their first look at the world of Darksiders before the events of the original game. Furthermore, it introduces the fourth and last horseman, Strife, as well as co-op gameplay for the first time in the history of the franchise. Cool. I haven't played Darksiders games, but I've heard good things about the second one, and I think this one got some good reviews.
Genesis does.
What Nintendo don't.
Or what Nintendo do. I don't know.
Warface. Dive into battle. Warface is an online first-person shooter like no other. Battle across 50-plus multiplayer PvP maps, tackle tough PvE raids and co-op, and unleash a vast arsenal of 200-plus realistic customizable weapons. Join over 80 million players worldwide and play for free now.
That's a free-to-play game.
Yeah.
Not about it.
Psycho. Shooting Stars. Bravo.
I guess that's how you pronounce that.
Experience the blistering action of 6 shoot-'em-up classics from Psycho's greatest hits, now in one collection. Samurai Aces, Episode 1. Samurai Aces, Episode 2. Tengai. Samurai Aces, Episode 3, Sengoku Canon. Gunbarick, Gunbird, and Gunbird 2 unite to form this epic arcade collection. Bring the arcade home by blasting through these shooters vertically in the popular Tate mode for the ultimate shoot-'em-up experience.
I'm sorry. What did they say about Gunbird 1 and Gunbird 2?
Nothing. Just, that's the titles. Do you like them?
I don't know. What is out in the Gunbird fan base? Which is the widely considered to be the best Gunbird?
Let us know.
Yes,
in the comments.
Please let me know what your favorite Gunbird is. It's
what happens when you give a bird a gun. Get Gunbird.
You do get Gunbird.
Bird. Sega Aces.
Do you get 1 or 2?
2. 3 actually. I have the third Gunbird.
You heard it here first.
Yeah. Sega Aces, Sonic the Hedgehog 2. The sequel to the original Sonic the Hedgehog returns in Sega Aces for the Nintendo Switch. Hailed as one of the most successful Genesis games, Sonic the Hedgehog 2 garnered critical acclaim swiftly after its 1992 release. Follows Sonic and Tails, in his debut, as they team up against Dr. Eggman in order to save the Chaos Emeralds from the clutches of evil.
That game sounds kind of weak.
I love that game.
I don't know. I
used to play it on my flip phone when I was younger.
Oh, yeah. It actually did come out on flip phones, didn't it?
Sega Ages Puyo Puyo 2. The sequel to the original Puyo Puyo returns in Sega Ages for the Nintendo Switch. Stack and chain your Puyo combos to negate the garbage Puyos sent by your opponent. Sorry. Garbage Puyos. Swap between single Puyo Puyo, double Puyo Puyo, and endless Puyo Puyo game modes for more Puyo fun.
Wow. Can you put the word Puyo in it more?
Puyo.
I mean, it's a classic puzzle game. I've never been big on Puyos, but classic puzzle games.
I'm more of a
fun.
Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine.
Oh, we're definitely mean beaners.
Yeah. Okay, next we have Fred 3 Rick, but I think it's Frederick 3.
I'm sorry, wait, what?
It's spelled Fred 3 Rick, like they switched out the E with a 3.
Oh, okay.
Frederick 3 is a continuation of the music game series popular and appreciated around the world. Frederick is back. Although the previous battle ended with a victory, the evil is again present. Zeitgeist, the wicked cybernetic quintessence of absolute evil, has a plan. Oh my god, the grammar is really off in this. Evil plan to throw Frederick into the vortex of time while taking away everything that is most valuable to him. Zeitgeist is not alone. Frederick will have to face the infected, steel-bound great composers of bygone times. Skills in piano are the only things our hero has left. Is this enough this time?
Oof.
This actually looks kind of interesting, but they really got to fix their grammar with this write-up.
Yeah, but hey, if your name's Frederick, that's rough. You got to deal with that. That's opposition.
If your name is Fred 3 Rick, that's even rougher.
There's 3 Ricks?
Yeah.
Wow.
Pickle Rick, Rick Sanchez, and Teen Rick.
There was a thing I like when that came out of my mouth. I'm like, I know where he's going with this. I'm gonna regret it.
Double Dragon and Kunio-kun Retro Brawler Bundle. We're proud to present you this compilation of 18 titles from the Double Dragon and Kunio-kun series. Among the 15 Kunio-kun titles, 11 of these had not been released in North America yet. All the in-game text has been translated in English. Choose between playing the original version or the quality-up version, where the mechanics and the game commands have been improved. Some games feature the original version only. Moreover, online features, avatars, screen and sound options have been added. You can play by yourself or go wild playing with friends, family, or any online player. Good on them. 11 games that haven't been translated yet.
That's cool.
Cool.
I like to see more games getting localized.
Oddmar. Action-adventure platformer in Norse mythology. Oddmar struggles with life in his village and is not worthy of a place in Valhalla. He is shunned by his fellow Vikings and must redeem himself of his squandered potential. One day he is offered an opportunity to prove himself, but at a price.
Is Oddmar like Olimar's like shitty little brother?
Maybe, yeah.
Might be. I don't know.
Devil May Cry 3 Special Edition. Awaken your inner demon. Set before the events of the original Devil May Cry, this action classic sees Dante facing off against his twin brother, Virgil, who has designs on unlocking a gate to the demonic realm, to which Dante himself holds the key. Featuring selectable combat styles such as the Swordmaster and Gunslinger, Devil May Cry 3 brings an extra level of strategy to the series' renowned stylish gameplay. I never knew that was a prequel.
I didn't know either because I don't know anything about Devil May Cry.
I know Devil May Cry 2 is really bad, apparently.
Really?
Mm-hmm. The third one's like the best, and the first one's good, but the second one's like completely different, I've heard.
Interesting. Growing pains.
Vitamin Connection. And I think this is made by the people who made, I'm blanking on the name for it. What was the Switch one? No, the Switch launch game with the Snipper Clips.
Well,
this is made by the Snipper Clips.
I like the title a lot. Again.
Co-pilot the capsule ship on a microscopic journey as Vita Boy and Minigirl. Battle bacteria to save the Sable family and the world. Prepare for a huge dose of fun in a microscopic world, either solo or together with a partner. Step into the roles of Vita Boy and Minigirl, co-piloting the capsule ship to wipe out vile pathogens from within the body of a host. Using innovative controls, you'll zap down foes with your vitamin beam, brandish the ship's handy claw module, and twist and turn through colorful maze-like environments to save the members of the Sable family, including the dog, from an assortment of hazardous and increasingly wacky predicaments. Every stage also features variety-packed sub-games that will have you tilting, grabbing, and dancing your way to victory.
That sounds kind of fun. I can't wait to play as Shark Boy and Lava Girl.
Yeah. It's the official game. Katana Kami, A Way of the Samurai Story. Rediscover the ways of old in Katana Kami, A Way of the Samurai Story. Play as a Ronin during Japan's Meiji Restoration and the volatile Rokotsu Pass. The swordsmith Dojima falls into debt and his beautiful daughter is taken as a collateral. Help repay the debt by crafting swords by day and exploring the mysterious, twisting dungeons of the Ippon-matsu cave for valuable materials at night. But be careful, 3 powerful factions, the Post-Town Ronin, Akadama clan, and Korufu family vie for dominance of the Rokotsu Pass, and your fate lies in the balance.
I feel like they should have just put like a gong clash somewhere in that description.
Yeah.
Just like a little asterisk, like gong clash.
It would be interesting if they did that.
That's what
it would make it pop.
That's what I would do.
Gong. Uncharted Tides, Port Royale. All hands on deck. Dead Men Tell No Tales, and tales about an infamous ship, the Cursed Rose, probably cost renowned sailor Mason Owens his life. As his daughter, you can do only one thing. Find the damned ship and learn your father's fate.
Okay. First of all, I had to actually look
yeah, that
over.
was worded so weirdly.
Because the first part you were like, and I was like, what? Does it say that?
Mm-hmm.
Also, why does it say,
totally does.
Why does it say damn ship? It's like the Shadow the Hedgehog.
That damn
thing.
fourth Chaos Emerald.
Where's that damn fourth Chaos Emerald?
They gotta get that edgy audience. Sonic fans will be loving Uncharted Tides.
Yeah,
Port
what is
Royale.
it? Uncharted 4 Battle Royale.
Yep. Blood will be spilled. You follow the story of Jack, a mosquito bounty hunter on his path of revenge.
Yes.
Soon, however, he finds himself neck deep in a vicious scheme that is far more than he bargained for. Heavily outgunned and outnumbered, Jack will need help from a few rather unusual allies to even the odds. In the land with no laws, from deserted anthills and dusty mines through badland battlefields to treacherous swamps, he's on a hunt for the Calaveras gang, and they are wanted alive or dead.
Well, and they're wanted alive or dead.
Mm-hmm. That sentence starts with and.
And that is sentence structure. Games when you play as mosquitoes are generally good. So.
Last game in this segment. Under Night in Birth, EXE or X, I don't know which way it's supposed to be pronounced, late bracket CL-R bracket. That is the title, folks.
So we got a programmer who decided to make the title to this.
Yes. Rule the Night. Control a deeper, darker fighting experience than ever before. Battle with 21 unique characters, including the all-new Landrikia, with his original moves, story, stage, and music. Master devastating new combos and dazzling special attacks in online arcade, story, and training modes. Command combatants with different brawling techniques showcasing over 12,000 stunning frames of animation.
I was going to say that based on the title, it kind of sounded like a fighting game. Like it's probably an anime fighting game.
Yeah, I saw it's getting a physical release too. It's like a $50 game, I think. Yeah.
Good for that.
I think I've heard of the series before too.
There are probably people who like it then, because it makes me think of like fucking Guilty Gear.
Yeah.
Yeah,
definitely getting vibes. So it's got like the hand drawn animation it was bragging about.
Yeah.
All right. Next segment, WackWare. In this segment, I have taken out specific little pieces of shovelware games and just weird games that I found listings for. I did not share these games with Peter. I did not share these games before in the descriptions. Let's see. How many rounds are there? There's 1, 2, and 3 rounds this week for WackWare. Each round consists of a number of real games and then one fake game that I made up with a description. Peter has to guess which one is fake out of the group. Some of these are groups of 4. Some of these are groups of 5. There will be one fake game that I've created.
All right.
You ready to start?
I am ready.
One thing, do not look at my screen during this because they're marked.
Also, I just want to point out that I can't read his screen from this angle.
Okay, well, eyes on the camera.
Okay. I'll focus very intently on the audience.
The Incredible Adventures of Super Panda. A sinister decay has gripped Pandaland. Super Panda embarks on an epic quest to find the source of the rot and save his beloved homeland. Okay. Project Starship.
What was the title of that one again?
The Incredible Adventures of Super Panda.
Okay.
You can write them down if you want.
I'll keep mental notes.
Okay.
I got it.
Project Starship. Take the role of Garrett or Gwen, pilots charged with saving their world from an ancient evil. Evade, adapt, and survive randomly generated challenges that are never the same twice. Take down gods and demons alike in the unpredictable bullet hell shoot-'em-up action and dive deeper to confront the hidden eye that watches over all. Okay?
Okay.
Good to move on?
Yeah. What was the title of that one again?
Project Starship.
Project Starship, okay.
Okay.
Noted.
Next game. Dragon Master Last Stand.
Ooh.
It's a battle to become the king of the Land of Darkness in Dragon Master Last Stand. Team up with over 7 dragons and unleash primal powers to take down everyone who stands in your way. Dragon Master Last Stand takes inspiration from classic titles and is a historically correct action-adventure game that takes place in ancient Japan. Historically correct? Okay.
Is it politically correct?
Maybe. Unleash your dragon powers and become the king of the Land of Darkness. Okay, next one.
All right, go ahead.
Kitty Maestro. Kitty Maestro is a musically accurate arcade game set in a city of cats.
Is it?
You play as a cat composer traveling around the city of Petropolis looking for inspiration. You collect and construct riffs of music to complete an opus. Get it? Opus? That will be performed at the magnificent Meowditorium.
I already know that that's the one you wrote down.
Yeah?
I'm ungodly confident that that is the one that you put in.
So your final guess is that Kitty Maestro is the fake game.
Well, is that wait? Is that
That's
all of them?
Okay,
for
the first round.
That's got to be my guess because here's the thing. I feel like it's a very obvious like missed opportunity to just call it Maestro and have it be about a mouse.
Okay, ready?
Yes.
You are incorrect. That's a real game that came out on the Switch. The game I made up is Dragon Master Last Stand.
Oh,
and the
really?
little hint I threw in there is that it's a historically correct action-adventure game that takes place in ancient Japan, because I think that's the line from the Giant Enemy Crab game.
Oh. Okay.
And also I laughed when I said it.
Okay, but I thought...
See, it sounded pretty good, right? It sounded like that would be one of these shovelware games.
Here's the thing, is I didn't realize you were really going in on designing your like descriptions for the game.
I gotta make it blend in with the other shovelware games.
I heard like Super Panda, and I was like, oh yeah, he probably made Super Panda up. Like that.
No, I'm actually trying to throw you off. With this.
No. Okay, wow.
There might be one that sounds really weird, but on to round 2.
All right.
3000th Duel. Sorry. The name is just so funny. 3000th Duel is action-adventure.
Do I have to play the other 2,999 duels?
So, 3000th Duel is action-adventure game. Not is action-adventure game that has speedy, exciting battles as its charm. A hero with no memory and with a mysterious mask covering his face is thrown out into this land of unknown. Reaching to an end of his journey, he discovers a truth that is hard to swallow, something terrifying about his true identity.
It's hard to swallow. It's a boulder.
All right, ready for the next one.
What was that one called again? 3000th Duel. That's not what you call a video game.
The Adventures of 00 Dilly.
Okay, how is Dilly spelled?
Dilly.
Can you read the title again, please?
The Adventures of 00 Dilly, or it might be 00 Dilly. I think it's 00 Dilly.
It's gonna be 00 Dilly. It's not 00 Dilly.
That's how you read it. It's not 007, it's 00 Dilly.
Dude, that game title is 00 Silly.
All right. Crash Test Dummy 00 Dilly withstood numerous crash tests in the 1950s, but ended up heedlessly consigned to the dump. But then some confused aliens inadvertently breathed new life into him. Now Dilly wants to prove to the world that he is the right crash test dummy for any kind of test. Get ready to shoot 00 Dilly as far as you can across the Grand Canyon with the weirdest and wackiest devices. Get ready for thrilling adventures with 00 Dilly.
00 Dilly.
All right.
Oh, man.
Ready for the next one? Corridor Z. Be quick or be undead. Ordinary high school zombie outbreak and the bunch of survivors in a run for life. This time you don't face the obstacles, but the actual pursuit. Don't let the zombies catch you up. Throw them the obstacles and aim for the head before they take the first bite. In the meantime, find the lost recordings of the audio log and reveal where did the infection come from in your small town.
Okay. That's called Corridor Z?
Corridor Z, yeah.
Okay.
Ready for the next one?
Yes.
Puzzle Brothers Plus. Become one of the two Puzzle Brothers. Hang on. Become one of the two Puzzle Brothers and complete exciting and interesting puzzles together before time runs out. Puzzle Brothers Plus simulates having a brother by including unique instances of branching dialogue. I'm going to be real with you. This is not the game. I'm
What?
not kidding. This game has music composed by the renowned composer Paul McFarlane.
There's no way that you didn't come up with. What was the part about simulating having a brother?
Puzzle Brothers Plus simulates having a brother by including unique instances of branching dialogue.
That sounds way too much like you made it.
Yeah, is that your guess?
Okay, I'm gonna take your word and say that and.
Oh, you might not want to take my word.
Yeah, did you? Is that
yeah,
the
that's
fake?
The one I made.
Okay,
up.
All right.
So we're now 1 for 1. Peter guessed the second game I made up.
All right, because there's no way.
The problem with this round is that lots of them like I wouldn't make something with grammatical errors in it, and then 0 dilly, I read that wrong. So
okay, here's the thing: is I was thinking
also 3000 Duel had it that could have been it.
Oh no! Honestly, all of those could have been it. Mm-hmm. I do think that there was part of me that was like, oh, maybe he's screwing with the title 00 Dilly because that's the one he came up with. Because that sounds like something you would come up with. but Puzzle Brothers, I can tell it's you.
No, Puzzle Brothers Plus.
Puzzle Brothers Plus. Excuse me. I can tell that you made it because it's about simulating having a brother and you're an only child.
Oof. I just thought that would be a unique feature that was weird. So these all have really weird features.
Simulate having a brother.
All right, are you ready for the final round?
Yes.
This round has five games. Okay?
Okay.
So this has one more than the other rounds. A Sound Plan. Local multiplayer Z-Sport about luring zombies into eating your friends using sound. Ever wanted to feed your friends to zombies, but the pesky law is in your way? Well, wait no longer. Welcome to A Sound Plan. A Sound Plan is a local competitive arena game about using sound to manipulate zombies into attacking your friends or enemies. We won't judge. Kill your foes in one of two ways. Bash their skulls in with rocks, always fun, or lure zombies into them using sounds generated by throwing rocks into walls or other people. Be violent, be passive, we don't care. Just take each other out. Good players will win by controlling their foes through managing their limited number of rocks to put themselves into advantageous situations. Tread carefully, plan ahead. It's the only way to survive.
There's no way you came up with that one. That is, what is that one called?
A Sound Plan.
A Sound Plan. A Sound Plan indeed.
All right. Escape First. This one has a lot of descriptions because there's multiple games in a game for this one.
Oh.
So Escape First is an escape room puzzle game. It includes 3 different escape rooms you can play. The rooms: Psycho Circus. After attending a spectacular... Sorry, this one's really good. After attending a spectacular performance at the Circus de la Luna, you find yourself trapped inside the clown's quarters. In a few minutes, the show will end. Will you be able to find his spare key and escape before he returns? Everyone knows that clowns don't like other people touching their stuff.
Is that exclusive to clowns?
Yeah.
That's a clown-only thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not a clown, so just, feel free to touch whatever the hell you want.
Feel up my Switch Lite. I'm not a clown. The Red Button. 1 room, 1 door, 1 bloodied knife. What's going on? What happened last night? You need to know. Are you sure you want to know? You need to leave. Be careful, though. No matter what happens, do not press the red button.
Do not.
Lost in Time. You have agreed to take part in an experiment relating to space-time. One mistake has left you trapped in chaos. Past, present, and future have merged. Time is your worst enemy. Will you be able to beat it and return to your reality before it's lost forever? Next game. That was all one game.
Wait, what?
Yeah, that was all one game.
That was 2 games.
3. Lost in Time, The Red Button, and Psycho Circus are all just Escape First. The name of that is Escape First.
Wow. Okay.
The next game is called Lines XL. Lines XL. Beautiful number link based puzzle game involving finding paths to connect colored tiles in a grid. Lines XL. Final game in Lines. X Infinite XL series. Yep.
Yeah, that one's bull.
Mm-hmm. Orangatango 2, Chimpony of the Night. Feel the nonstop beat of the Funky Monkeys in this long-awaited sequel to Orangatango. Create an army of dancing primates to remind the citizens of Stifftopia what it's like to cut loose and groove. Make your own music with the music generator and share your levels with friends online. I really like the name of it. Orangatango 2, Chimpony of the Night.
No way.
And you're not allowed to look these up, by the way.
I haven't been. I haven't touched my computer.
You might be pleased at the end of this if you think that's not real.
There's no way.
Sudoku Relax 4, Winter Snow.
How many games do we have in
5.
this part? Oh.
Yeah. This is the last one of the part.
Having the 3-parter in there really messed me up.
Sudoku Relax 4, Winter Snow. Let your mind take a break and refresh itself to the mind-soothing effects of Sudoku Relax 4. The popular Sudoku Relax title is coming out with a sequel, Sudoku Relax 4. You can enjoy the effect of soft and warm snow in new Sudoku Relax.
What do you mean warm snow?
Choose from easy, normal, or hard modes with over 300 puzzles. Exercise your brain and wind down to the relaxing gameplay and music. Solving puzzles unlocks new backgrounds and music tracks. The game contains 3 backgrounds and 3 music tracks. You can choose to pause the game at any time and continue playing at your convenience. Simple touch controls.
That's not a feature.
It could be. Simple touch controls make playing easy. All right.
Okay, give me the title rundown again.
Sudoku Relax 4, Winter Snow.
Okay.
Orangatango 2, Chimpony of the Night. Lines XL. Escape First, and a sound planned. Not planned.
Okay. The chimp one is that just feels like you made that one up, because it's Symphony of the Night is my favorite game, one of them anyway. So but I feel it
could just be a chimp pun.
Okay.
On video games. This game isn't necessarily shovelware. It might actually be a pretty fresh game.
Okay. But
So I did see screenshots and videos of all of these.
Interesting. Okay.
Except the ones I made up, of course.
I'm going to say the one you made up is Lines XL.
Is that your final verdict?
That is my final answer.
I made up Orangatango 2.
Damn it!
It needs to be a real game, though. Maybe we can make it in dreams.
It was too obvious.
Yeah, I kind of messed with your mind a little there.
Yeah. Okay. Also, you cheated because you told me that it was real, and I was he's definitely screwing
I have
with me.
to tell you they're real because you have to guess which one is
I
fake.
know, and you were screwing with me, and I was
I'm allowed to do that.
God, I know, but. Also, I really wanted it to be real. I'll be honest.
Would you have gone and purchased it?
I would have based on the title.
So maybe we should make it. Maybe we'll make a lot of money if we make this game.
Orangatango. Wait, Lines XL is real?
Yeah, that's the whole description is 2 sentences. Lines XL, beautiful number-linked based puzzle game. Oh wait, 2. Involving finding paths to connect colored tiles in a grid. Lines XL, final game in Lines, then in parentheses, X Infinite XL series. That's the whole description on the eShop.
That is a really bad description. I will say I knew the Sudoku and the escape room ones were real because those are everywhere.
Yeah, and the escape room one is just so long. The description. I wouldn't make something that long.
I wouldn't expect you to make descriptions for
maybe
3
1 week
games.
I'll do it and throw you off.
Maybe.
But that is the end of WackWare. It's been a fun segment.
That was really good, honestly. I feel like I'm a new man.
It was fun, yeah. It was definitely fun to do.
I do feel like a new man.
See, going back. Peter, do you know what it's time for?
I believe it's time for...
Can I get a drum roll, please?
Yes. I kind of don't want it to be, like, in the mic, so I'm going to do it, like, out here.
It is time for the Big Chunk. All right. If you don't know what the Big Chunk is, the Big Chunk is our topic of the show. We feel that almost every podcast calls it the topic of the show. Screw that. We call it the Big Chunk.
This is the Big Chunk.
So this week's Big Chunk is about scares in the gaming industry related to the coronavirus. This is affecting us personally. So we're going to PAX East soon, and PlayStation recently announced they're going to be dropping out of PAX East. There are people outside going into the elevator outside of our recording studio here.
A very official recording studio.
So PlayStation announced they're going to be dropping out from PAX East due to the coronavirus. They're afraid that their employees might be infected at the event. They also recently announced they're going to be dropping out of GDC. Oculus also announced this. And Square Enix has announced a huge cutback in their PAX East plans. They're not going to have some panels that were initially planned. And there's not going to be a fan meetup for Final Fantasy XIV anymore. At the same time, these are just event-based news. There are concerns that the PS5 and Xbox Series X are going to either be delayed or have huge stock problems when they release due to the coronavirus. And the Nintendo Switch is already having shortages in Japan with the new limited edition, and it's believed that the new Coral Switch Lite is going to be hard to find.
Yeah, that's it's really Corona screwing with a lot of stuff in the industry right now.
Yeah, I'm still going to go to PAX East. We both are. We're going to have a fun time.
And actually, Nick, I do want to tell you a bit of news that I actually haven't told him yet. But at PAX East, we are actually having our first ever fan meetup.
Oh, are we?
We are.
Okay.
So for all of our fans out there,
yes,
we will be there.
Okay.
And we will be.
How are our fans going to learn where we're going to meet up? Should they follow our Twitter?
Yes, they should.
Follow us at game_cubed on Twitter.
Yes. Seeing that this is our first podcast episode, we will have a roaring fan base at this point.
We'll be attending PAX East 2020 on Sunday. We will certainly tweet out where our fan meetup will be. You could come meet me and Peter.
It'll probably be in the hour-long line to play the Final Fantasy VII remake.
Yeah, that'll be
that's
a great
our fan
idea.
meetup. Come hang with us in line.
So let's talk about this coronavirus.
Yes.
Is it scaring you? Well, how do you feel if you went to PAX East? PlayStation isn't there, so either someone else is going to be where they were in the space that PlayStation's at, which they're one of the largest showcasers at the event. It might just be a big empty space. That's kind of weird. I honestly feel like PAX should be announcing more stuff because it feels like we are losing money at this point by going to PAX.
Yeah, it is kind of scummy. Well, not scummy, but it sucks that it's happening.
Yeah.
You know, it is a little scummy that they just decided to pull out now. Yeah. Because
they announced their plans 1 week ago and then announced
it's
after
it's not
that.
like Corona just happened this week.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
It's been an ongoing thing. We know that it's happening. Mm-hmm. You know, I definitely, I'm a little bit
little worried.
I'm
worried, but at the same time, we're young and healthy. If we get it, it'll just kind of be like having the flu. Well, I don't think we'd die. But if we died, we died at being gamers at gamer conventions.
True. So. Live by gamer, die by gamer. But I do want to say that this is my first convention that I've ever gone to.
I went last year and it was awesome. It's a scale I've been to really bad Connecticut small conventions. The scale is awesome. It's you'll be able to see over everyone's heads. Peter's a tall guy, but it's just awesome. Seeing the community get together. The panels were really fun to go to. I went to a panel on the Samurai Showdown developers had a panel, and they gave the first 200 people signed posters from all the developers.
That's dope.
They went into a lot of details of the original Samurai Showdown games from the 90s. And how the people at SNK, the different teams, communicated with each other. It was interesting.
That's cool. Yeah, I do want to say that, it's not necessarily Corona
Yeah.
That like stresses me out a little bit. It's more that, like, you know, we're at school, like we're gonna have classes like the day after, like the day we come back.
Oh yeah.
Because we're going on Sunday, and then
Yeah.
Monday we have classes. I'm just worried about getting sick in general, because I know that passes like really easily in cons.
Yeah.
So like that part is kind of like
We might wear like germ masks.
might be a good idea.
Yeah.
Just in case.
Be healthy, boys.
Yeah.
At PAX East.
Because I don't want to be sick for my classes.
I commend PlayStation for doing this for the sake of their employees. At the same time, I feel like PlayStation would have already been discussing this when they revealed their plans. They should have done something to appease the fans. Because I do feel like the value of my PAX East ticket has gone down a lot. One of the biggest reasons I wanted to go was to see PlayStation. The Last of Us Part 2 and Final Fantasy VII Remake were going to be there. I'm glad Final Fantasy Remake is going to be at the Square Enix booth now.
Yeah.
But the PlayStation booth last year was cool, and they had a PlayStation like gear shop, and I was looking forward to like seeing if they had any cool like sweatshirts or something to buy there. But
I'm honestly disappointed that they also haven't announced plans of just like give us a ball pit, you know?
Yeah.
Do it, honestly. Put it where
put a ball pit where PlayStation was going to be.
Yeah.
Germs definitely won't spread in a ball pit, Peter.
Yeah. Neither will pink eye.
Yeah.
That's gross. Ball pits are gross. Don't go in ball pits. That's the takeaway from this podcast episode.
Yeah. Do not go into ball pits.
Don't let your kids do it either. They'll get sick. They'll get pink eye.
They'll give you pink eye.
Yeah.
They'll rub their eye and then walk right up to you and rub it in. You don't want that.
You don't want it.
No.
And you don't want Corona either, because that's rough.
No.
People are dying from that.
Overall, I think that in relation to like stock of consoles, that maybe this will get the major manufacturers to move their consoles out of China. They won't be manufactured there anymore, which may in turn increase prices.
Yeah.
Even more. We were already saying PS5 might be like $500, $450.
Yeah.
But
maybe cut back on some of that new tech.
Maybe this current gen will be prolonged, and it will throw off the like if PlayStation was expecting to release their new console this year and Corona delays that, it could be interesting to see what happens if there's like a 6-month larger gap with PS4 than they had expected.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see where all this goes, because it's all kind of up in the air.
Yeah.
I feel like game companies aren't really talking too much, like outside of like PlayStation just announcing that they won't be at PAX. They haven't really addressed like directly what the effects of Corona kind of are on what's going on. If there are any like major, we don't really know. It's like mostly speculation at this point, with like some evidence mixed in, but it's still like there's a lot more that would be like useful to know about it.
Yeah, exactly. So kind of ironic that the big chunk actually isn't that large compared to some of our other segments, but I like that. So moving on, our final segment, the first episode of the Game Grinder podcast, is Hear Ye, Hear Ye.
Hear ye, hear ye.
This day in gaming. Peter, did you know on this day in 1980, HAL Laboratory was founded?
I did not know that.
Yes. The company's name is derived from the HAL 9000 computer from the movie 2001, A Space Odyssey, which I find really boring.
I'm actually surprised that I didn't know that fun fact. Also,
I
I've
think
never
I knew
seen
that.
2001.
I think you would be bored by it, just like I was.
I probably would be, but hey,
but it's a classic film.
It's a film kid thing.
Yeah.
We got film kid friends. They like it.
Yeah, they do. And that is meant to move us out into closing. I've had fun doing this.
I have had
it
a
has
great deal
gone
of fun.
Over 2 hours, believe it or not.
Wow.
So I wonder if you've watched this far in, please comment down below.
Comment Ooh, what should they comment?
Ooga Booga.
Comment Ooga
Ooga
Booga,
Booga.
and Earl is a chill dude.
Yeah, Ooga Booga, Earl's a chill dude. In the comments below, if you're watching this on YouTube, if you're watching this on Spotify or other major podcasting services, thank you.
Yes.
Tune in every Saturday. I don't think we have an official time frame yet, but probably around 9 a.m. every Saturday for a new Game Grinder episode. Check out GameCubed on YouTube for editorials, reviews, and everything gaming.
Yep.
Thank you for tuning in to episode 1 of the Game Grinder podcast, the number 1 most scrumptious gaming show on the internet.
It does taste pretty good.
Yes.
Can confirm.
It's been fun.
It has been real. Thank you all for watching.